Mr. Parrish, you have 90 seconds starting.
Beautiful. Okay, so my name's Kieran Parrish and I'm running for the position of President. Now, the reason I've decided to run is because I've had some absolutely fantastic times at this university, and I really want to make sure that you guys and the next generation of BG students have just as brilliant of an experience as I have had. Now, as President, I aim to go above and beyond the call of duty to represent you guys, and I aim to do this through greater accessibility to the President and the exec, through greater links with Lincoln University and the wider community, and through lobbying and campaigning to BG for the improvements that you guys want. Now, in terms of greater accessibility, this is going to take place through an open door policy. I will not be stuck behind a desk, okay? And I will create presidential surgeries so that you guys can come and talk to me in an informal setting around campus, and I promise you that I will be around campus, in halls, and talking to you guys as much as is humanly possible. Now, through discussions with you guys, I've discovered the fact that you really want greater links with Lincoln, building on the success of the Cathedral Cup. Now, if elected, I intend to meet up with Lincoln's new president and build a collaborative relationship for next year, which can only strengthen the SU and enhance society experience as well as course experiences through partnership and cooperation. And I expect that this can make a wider impact on the community in general. Now, you've heard a lot of speeches tonight, but remember this. I will work tirelessly to improve student experience so that you guys can look back with great memories. This is a great university, but we can improve it, but we have to work together to make that difference. Thank you very much.
90 seconds starting now.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Dee. I'm a third-year history and ed studies student, and I've decided to run for president. If you've not already seen my manifesto, you'll know that if I am elected, I'll have pledged to focus on 3 key areas, which are student engagement, student representation, and student welfare, as I feel these are 3 incredibly important aspects of the student experience that are currently lacking. As the lead representative of the student body and the figurehead of the Students' Union, it is absolutely essential that the candidate who is elected this role is approachable, friendly, and empathetic individual who can really connect with each and every student on a personal level to ensure that their needs are supported by the university. The President should also be a professional, hard-working, and truly passionate. Ultimately, this is a job and the position should be carried out with just as much diligence as any other. I personally feel that I have all of these attributes and more, which would make me a truly representative president who can wholeheartedly pledge their time and dedication to increasing student engagement with both the SU and the university itself, and to ensuring that the welfare of the student body is not only maintained but improved during my presidency.
All right, Mr. Franklin, you have 90 seconds starting now.
Hi, I'm James. I'm the president, as you guessed. What I want to do, so I'm going to crack on and tell you. Refreshers Week. We haven't got one. I think we should. I want to join it with Lincoln Uni's Refreshers Week because you've already had our Freshers Week, and I want Refreshers Week with them because we've already met our friends there, and then we can build a greater partnership as well. Student Life Handbook is one of the things as well. So it's given to you on enrolment, which has got like local doctors, how to change doctors, dentists, that sort of thing, different medical advice, university contacts, what time the assignment office closes for dinner, because there are people that ask that question, ridiculous. Different contacts in the university, like I said, a map of Lincoln, map of uni, map of the Skinner building. One thing that has proven quite popular is moving lectures, trying to move lectures from 9 AM to 10 AM. Works in the favour of mature students so they can drop the kids off at school, then get here. We're not at school, so why do we start lectures at 9? I know it's not possible for all courses, but it's something to look into. I would also like to look at having an additional SAB role, having VP welfare, so that the staff can focus more on doing stuff for students and have that extra body. More space for societies, look into converting the SU attic, things like that as well. And more opportunities for students, work with BG Futures and work with the STAMP programme because it's something I am passionate about and have been involved for 3 years. That's me.
Okay, Mr. Sciacca, you have 90 seconds starting now.
Okay. So what do you get if you vote for Alex Sciacca as your president next year? You get 3 years of dedicated, experienced representation. Since I arrived here, I've been a course rep, I've been a society president, I'm your current societies officer, and I sit on the board of trustees which governs the Students' Union. I know how this place works, I know how to make it better, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to strengthen it to its very core, and at its heart place each of you, the students, because it's your voices that make the difference here. We're not out for ourselves, we're not out to make ourselves look good. We're here to make sure that you get what you need We're here to represent you and make sure that you're listened to and make sure that nobody takes advantage of you. Now, what I'm going to do is build links around the community, but not just with Lincoln. Go for other universities that fall into similar situations as us, and universities that are nothing like us. Make sure that we get as much good practice as we can, because it's not all about being small and specialist. It's just about being good. As well as that, a more professional atmosphere, making sure there's no infighting on the exec, making sure that people don't feel as though they can't come to us, making sure that people don't feel as though they're left out in the cold, as has been the case in previous years, and it's just not okay. People shouldn't be falling through the cracks. People should feel as though they're represented in a fair, equal and empowering environment. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Fox, you have 90 seconds starting now.
Thanks, Josh. Hi, guys. It's a pleasure to be speaking to you this evening and to tell you why you should elect me for your president. Who am I? Well, I'm Madeleine Fox, a third-year Dink and an avid member of the Drama Society. I know what you're thinking. It's not normally a name that you would associate with the interworking of the SU, but that's what I think makes me the perfect candidate for your president. I'm a voice for the students, by a student. I've been there. I've been one of the masses. I've been unsure of where I fit and who can help me with what issues I may have. So this is exactly why I am running. We deserve a student union that includes everyone. We deserve a student union that is clear when it comes to its system and how it works. We deserve a student union that gives us a voice. How will I do this? I will do this through inter-society events, greater advertisements so that you know where help can be found, an uncensored newsletter. I will do this through an open door policy. I will do this through better training to student reps and exec members, and better awareness of your rights. To conclude, I will make your student union a more honest, informative and inclusive community. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the Fox says.
SU, but what are your experiences in the SU that you think could help you with this role? Like knowing the problems that are happening in the SU at the minute, how can that help you with your president role?
We'll start with James.
Alright. Experience in the SU, do you say? Or just in general?
Like through the SU, what do you know of the SU already and the problems that you're going to solve with it?
A couple of things is, one, with this year it's sort of been a bit of a dysfunctional team, and I want to bond that team better by hopefully having two exec trainings rather than one big one, and have it halfway through the year as well, so that it brings the team back together. And my time as Liberation Officer, I did struggle talking to the President, so that's why I also want the open door policy, as Ian said, where anyone can come and rock up and have a chat about anything.
Yeah, and we will go to Alex next, please.
Okay, well, my experience is clear. I've been involved with the SU since I arrived at this university, and over the last year as Society's Officer and Trustee, I've seen not only the how but the why. It's a simple question of some things simply cannot happen, some things need more work than people would imagine to happen. We don't always have the money, we don't always have access to the right resources, and sometimes the policies in place and the steps that need to be taken to make things happen simply aren't as straightforward as you would imagine. So that experience would allow me to deal with things with a decisive hand and keep an open mind when people need to know what we can do and when we're going to do it.
Okay, and we will go to Georgia next, please.
You might not have seen me around, to be honest with you. I've not really been that involved with the SU. I've been quite busy while I've been at uni. But I've already spoke to Becca and Gareth, and they're doing like a complete and utter handover, and we'll be shadowing them for a whole month. And I'm just looking forward to getting involved and actually learning about it, and I think I have something new to bring. So.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to Kieran next, please.
I completely agree. I mean, I go out of my way to try and talk to as many different people as possible to try and understand their experiences. I may not understand, possibly right now, the workings of the SU in general, but quite frankly, I don't want to go into teaching. Whatever job I go into, I'm going to have to learn how it works, and quite frankly, I know that I can pick it up very quickly. And to be honest, with every SU and exec that changes, you're going to have different issues, you're going to have different problems. You can't necessarily take some and generalise it to the others, so I think you very much have to improvise and think on your feet.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to Maddy.
Yeah, I very much reiterate what you guys just said, because I think you can learn a role. And as somebody who's always been partaking in different things that the SU has to offer, I have a good understanding, I think, an okay understanding of what they have to offer, but you cannot teach somebody to be a leader. You cannot teach them to believe in something that they don't believe in. And so I think that's, what will help me is because you can't teach somebody to care, and I care. But I can learn the role, and as Georgia said, there's going to be a really thorough handover. That's really going to help, and I think that's really important. And I'm a quick learner too, just like you, Kieran. We can all be quick learners, so yes.
Yeah, okay, can I just say, can we be concise again, please? So we've got big time restrictions. Okay, yeah, we've got a lot of questions.
Kieran,
Hello.
I'm not trying to sound insulting, and I hope I don't, but you have sort of a reputation as funny man, if you will.
I'll stop it. Yeah.
you see what I mean, though?
No.
Sometimes people might not, again, without trying to sound insulting, sometimes people might not see you as this serious person.
We can, of course, one's a personal attack, so
Sorry.
I don't. Okay, I don't agree with that, but I'd like to answer that because I think it's a genuine concern.
If you want to answer it, you can answer.
Okay.
How would you comment? How would you? Because I know that you can be that serious man, and you do care, and you really do have the capability to work well in this position. But how will you convince other people of that?
No, I as I said, the reason I started because I think it's a very fair question. I do possibly have a certain reputation as kind of a funny man, but I think that can only work in my strength. The difference is that is my reputation as a student. When it comes to my reputation as someone who is working for a position, working as a representative, I work with a great level of integrity, and that's exactly what I expect to treat people with. And you know what, I may have been a funny man in my day, and quite frankly, I think that is needed by an SU president. But I also think, if elected, you guys will definitely get to see that serious side of me, and you will understand the fact that I will fight for what it is you want.
Okay, thank you. Next question comes from...
This is for everyone. As the leader of the SU, the Big Chief, how would you all make sure that everyone else is working together in a cohesive and effective team to provide the best opportunity for all students?
Okay, we'll start with George this time, please.
I feel like the SU does have a bit reputation as being like a bit of a clique. I've been here for 3 years, and there's a lot of members of the SU that I've never even spoke to before. I think that they do tend to stick together a bit, and they need to engage more with the students, and they need to work together as a team. I think having like regular meetings with the grad pool as well, like an online vote was done, and I think that's such a good idea. Like we should have like little student referendums whenever anyone has an idea or something that they want to do. Like it's not just about the SU work as a team; it's the students as well.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to Kieran.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please? So I forgot.
As the leader of the role of the SU team.
Ruler. Okay.
You can actually just shush.
Yeah.
How would you make sure that everyone in the SU is working together as effectively as it should be?
You want to know something? I'm pretty much, I'm kind of hands off. I'm kind of laissez-faire. I believe the fact that if you let people work together, they will bring the good out in each other. I don't want to man management. I don't want to baby people. I want them to take that responsibility and flourish. Now, as I've said, I aim to be approachable. I aim to have that open door. If people have a problem, then they can come to me. If students have a problem, they can come to me. And quite frankly, I will then display that message to the rest of the exec because that is the job. But I'm not going to man manage. I'm not going to tell people what it is they have to do. I'm going to try and come up with ideas as a collective.
Okay, we will go to James next.
Right. I think this year's exec with the elections is completely different to any other exec that I've personally seen. There's people from all sorts of different backgrounds and groups and friendship groups. So I think it will be a lot less cliquey than it especially was in my first year. And I think having refreshers week and having exec training twice in the year will help to bond the team together and again the open door policy to be approachable as president.
Okay, can we go to Maddy next, please?
Yeah, very much reiterating what Georgia said again, actually. I think it's really important to communicate with people. If you don't talk to people, how are you ever going to get anything done? So part of my manifesto is definitely to have better training for people like student reps or exec members, the people who are really representing us, and then always the brief and debrief, meeting up with people whenever they need, really, to make sure that everybody is doing exactly what they should be doing.
Okay, thank you. And we'll go to Alex, please.
For me, it's an issue of professionalism. It's people need to remember when they take on a role on the exec that they are signing on, yes, as a volunteer, but as a job. And it's something that's often forgotten. Cohesion falls to the wayside when people start to bicker with each other, when people start to have disagreements, and they become disengaged themselves. So it's making sure that they feel supportive and feel as though there's somebody there connecting them when they start to fall apart, to make sure that they don't just drift off and start losing focus. That way, the team works better and everyone benefits as a result of that.
Okay, thank you. Can I just remind the candidates once again just to try and be as concise as possible? Thank you. We'll move on to the next question. Sciacca.
So I noticed, this is to all of you, but I noticed on a few of your manifestos that there are quite a lot of policy points that are really straddling a lot of the exec members' roles. How will you achieve your role whilst not kind of standing on other exec members' toes?
I want to do. Fantastic. We've got some ideas. Beautiful. Hammer it out.
Okay, thank you. Right, next, Maddy, please.
Yeah, surely the whole point of being a leader is that you do kind of echo everything that everybody is doing. That's how you keep in touch with people. So I'd say that you need to have some subject knowledge of everything that everyone's doing, because otherwise you would be a very good pres. That's what I said.
Okay, thank you. Hold up. Alex, please.
What I would say to that is, as I say, it's key to know what everyone's doing, but another part of it is every moment that you spend doing somebody else's job is a moment spent not doing yours. And the President has a very busy schedule. It's not something that you can just hop in and out of. So yes, talk to them, make sure they're supported, but at the same time, make sure you pay attention to your role first.
Okay, Georgia, next, please.
Obviously, it's a students' union. It is about being united. There's nothing about being a manager and taking everything on your own shoulders. You need to work together. You need to delegate and work as a team. And if I was elected, I would massively want to work with all of the exec and meet up with people and make sure everyone's doing their jobs as
Okay, thank you. James, next, please.
I'm just echoing what else is really. Yeah, just work as a team because you are a team, and then use the students' views because you are the students' union.
Okay. Andy.
Yeah, this is for all of you. What can you personally uniquely bring to the SU as a president? I know this kind of works advantage for the first person to speak, but that's it.
Okay. We're going to ask you to do this in 3 words each because we have so many questions to go. If that is possible. Okay, so we'll start with Georgia first.
I don't know. I've not been in the SU, that's it. I've not been in it, and I'm different from the
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to James Franklin, please.
Structure, support, and organisation.
Okay, thank you. Kieran, please.
Compassion, integrity, and freshness.
Thank you. Alex, next, please.
Vast leadership experience.
Thank you. Maddie, please.
Creativity, leadershipness, and empathy.
Thank you. Next question. The girl in the switch to blonde hair, which I believe is Sarah, yeah.
Kieran touched on the subject about going into the different accommodations and getting people involved that way. I live off campus at Park Court, and there's obviously Danesgate as well, and I felt quite segregated from the uni. How would you bring those accommodations into everything else? For all of you separately.
Okay, we'll start with Maddie first one, please.
Well, one of the things that I really want to push is a newsletter. And we could be sending that out to your emails. We could be making physical copies of it so it's available for you guys when you get to campus. And obviously, I really want to do greater advertisements as well, which will be displayed all over the SU. And the idea of the newsletter is that it will showcase all the opportunities that you guys can have in the university, be that societies or things off campus as well, such as job opportunities. So that's something I really want to push if you like me.
Okay, thank you. Alex, please.
Okay, so for me it would be just a greater social media presence towards people who live off campus. It's sort of breaking down the barriers of distance. It's not always possible for us to get that sort of physical response out to you. Make sure you know who we are, where we are, and when everything is.
Okay, thank you. Kieran, next please.
I don't mean this in the wrong way, but we know where you live. What I mean by that is that we can definitely get the details out to you through, if we put in more effort, we can easily do that. As Alex was saying, social media would be important. I also want to improve the importance of reps when it comes to this. I want people to be able to feed their ideas back to their course members that they will know who possibly live off campus, who are possibly mature students, etc., and who wouldn't necessarily be accessible towards any other kind of events that way.
Okay, thank you. George, next, please.
Obviously, mature students have been brought up a lot tonight. We do have a really diverse range of students here. Not everybody is a fresher living in halls. For me, I really want to take everything online so much more. Obviously, I mentioned the online voting. I agree, a newsletter is 100% needed. Lots of online forums and social media and stuff. So.
Okay, and James, finish off, please.
I think cross accommodation socials and social things like that, and bring them together, working with sports and societies to do more sort of cross accommodation things like sports.
Okay, we've got time for one last very quick one. We're going to go to bed before it. Okay. Just remember, if you have had a question, just keep it in your mind for Saturday debate tomorrow. Okay, if that's okay. Okay, so okay, a lot. Fine, go.
Okay.
Go.
Sorry. This is a tough question for me to ask, but it needs. Basically, most of you know, I was on the exec at the very start of this year due to completely personal reasons. I was not able to fill that role, and I had to quit. There is a lot of stress involved. It's a voluntary role that second or third years give up. It's obviously the marks count for their things. What are you going to do to make sure that they have that extra support there? Because it is a hard job and it takes a lot of time. So what are you going to do to make sure that they feel valued and happy in their role?
Okay, in as few words as possible. James first, please.
I'm going to disagree with what Alex said about reminding them that it is a role. Yes, they should understand it's a role, but they should also feel supported, like you said, and just the open door policy and working with them, and so they can come and talk to you whenever they need it.
Okay, thank you. Kieran, next, please.
Completely the same. You've got to have that open door policy, but you've also got to have that air of approachability about you. As soon as you ruin that level of trust, then the whole thing's broken. You've got to keep that up.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. George, next.
As I said, in reply to Taffy, we are a union, we do need to work together, but also, one of my ideas for my policies, I want to incentivise reps and execs as well.
Okay, Alex, please.
Okay, for me, it's making sure that exec welfare is cared for. It should never get to the point where someone's having to come to the office angry or upset before we know there's a problem, because by that point, they're on the knife's edge.
Okay, thank you. And Maddy, to finish off.
Open door policy, compassion and empathy.
Okay, thank you. Round of applause for everyone there, please.